Welcome back. We are watching some more Higurashi, and things are going just fine once again. You've got Keiji having some delusions, seeing sights and things that he has not only had a hand in, but orchestrated completely himself, being somewhat fabricated, the dead coming back to life, seemingly unharmed. And honestly, I don't quite see a good way out of this one. Not that there's usually a nice ending and of any of the routes that we've seen so far, but still, it's always downhill. What are we going to get greeted with in this episode? Is there going to be any more understanding of what's going on? How this world works, what the curse is, etc. There's one way to find out. So strap in, and let's begin. After a night of heavy rain, the sun finally breaks its cover to reveal what exactly. Are we ever going to see the backside of that clock again? How much tape is going to be on it? A very vivid dream. That would be the likely conclusion if he's still up and kicking. Going with something a little more final. Although it's going to be a hard one to justify being seen riding your bike around with that. What's that noise? I think he is doing fine. Who is he talking to? So, once again, the paranoia, schizophrenia type thing really coming back in abundance, but in a slightly different way. Rather than thinking conversations and actions are plots against him, he's creating entire events that may not have happened in his head. And now, what's this about Satoshi? I'm not sure where this storyline is going to end up. Just that I don't believe the suffering is over for him just yet, and especially not for Satoko. But will anyone actually intervene and do things properly? Why was the police inspector dude out in the forest with him in the rain? Okay. Seemingly abandoned living room. Uneaten. What's that hiss? Ah, okay, it's actually in the... Oh, water, is it? Oh, this could go badly. Oh, right. I'm guessing he threw dinner at her. Wait, been in there all night? Steamed? Drowned? I mean, if she's been in there all night and it's now the next morning, heat stroke and the dehydration one are going to be effective. But what? Why counting? What's with the 5,000? What? Also, where is the uncle right now? Trying to reach her a little there with the whole Nini stuff, but still counting. I'm guessing that was a order given to her before she got in the bath. 10,000? Going room to room. Is he out shopping? Incoherent rage? I mean, she's still got to have somewhere to live afterwards. Is it really a good idea to smash the place down? Back with the doctor. Is this... I was about to say, is this a good place for him to be? But she should probably see some medical treatment. Yeah. Good to see the police actually doing some. She makes a point. Incontinence. Who? Is this the main doctor dude? Sleeping pill overdose. I mean, they are a medical clinic here. If they couldn't do anything for him. I mean, I can't think of anyone else that would be of use to suddenly take an overdose kind of thing. I mean, that would have been a red flag. Ah. Suddenly, too many sleeping pills just after the confrontation and whatnot yesterday. For the missing. Oh, she. So. Is he going to inform her? Yeah, might not have been just to tell it straight. Well, we don't know. That's just what we're hearing. Damn it, kid. You've already seen her face and what state she's in. Is it really a good idea to put things so clearly like that? Had a talk with him and then ran away. Is he becoming like Reno, where it's like believing in the curse so fervently now? Yeah, I mean, he could have probably at least given her some clothes to put on, or brought them with him after dragging her out of the house. That's a good shout, actually. But how much of that conversation is actually real as well? It's it's surprising that they've been able to walk around so far without being spotted by anyone. Like, she's missing, Takano died, the supervisor. This is a lot more people than it should have been. Maybe something to keep to yourself right now. It does seem like he's got some sort of spirit following him, doing his bidding. We can figure all of this out later when she's not dying of heat stroke and half naked, and while he is in a state of mania. There's something very seriously wrong going on right here. Yeah, I was about to say, does she still want to be carried around like this? No, of course not. There's a difference between just cursing and wishing someone to dying and smashing the skull with a baseball bat. Yeah, who really needs the most medical treatment right now? Fair. Does she have a key for the house as well? If she can find any clothes, and why are there so many birds? That's why there's so many birds. That's a lot of blood and viscera. Oh Christ! I'm surprised she's got both eyes actually with that many birds around, but the chest cavity being torn asunder. Actually seems like a reasonable response. So you've had at least 4 now. What about the photographer? Has he been done in as well? And now the axe is covered in blood. He is now main culprit number 1. He didn't kill the uncle, but is he going to be accused of this one? But why was she also a reasonable response, but also it's not quite what it looks like. Maybe this might just be won't be a simple thing to think about, but don't chase after her with the axe. She's been through so much right now. I have no idea what their mental states would actually be seeing all of that. Didn't last long. Oh no. If you got a big old suspension bridge like this, I can think of one or two things. And considering how we saw at the beginning, we saw a body in a bag in a river. Is that how it comes full circle? Maybe not the same bag or body, but still the same kind of. That's the only thing about this that he's somewhat certain of. I would say it all looks a little. And that's where it bounces back and hits her. No? Okay. That's a long drop. I wouldn't give him ideas. I don't think that it's going to go well for him. Possessed. Well, the family spirit demon of Mion and whatnot has come over him, or the curse itself. And what happened as a consequence of her climbing on the roof, let alone going inside it? Ah, that would be quite the tumble for a kid of that age. This is a neat little. She's the queen of hide and seek, but a neat little sub story flashback. So that's why the statue was damaged. I was. Oh Christ. But yeah, I'm surprised that a kid of that age could lift themselves up with a chain and come up with the idea to get themselves out of the storage area. Does the statue need to become whole? And is this actually something about the curse, or is it just her attributing to it because she damaged the statue and therefore disappeared? I would like to know if there is actually something that is fully at at play here for the attributing factor of starting it all, but it's a seemingly unconnected series of. How did that shove get him up and over the railing? I'll just go with it. There's always a moment where they snap. She was seemingly so fine a minute ago. Well, so now that he's been possessed by the curse, just needs to get rid of him and it would all be over. I don't think that she would be happy about once when she comes down, but still, for this story, so many deaths, more than the curse should have brought on. Where did it go wrong? I think that's a good question. Much like she was saying, things went wrong when she broke the statue. Is there certain key events in which cause a tumbling effect? Disaster? What? Big city news report. The PM is dead. Okay. Poisonous volcanic gas. What, so the entire village is... Huh. I mean, if there's some gas intoxication, that would explain a lot of the current mental state and things going weird, but still... What? One survivor. What kind of stories does he have about all of this? And maybe, does that mean everything that's happening is just a occurrence after the gas and everything? Or is that saying the curse has now spread wider? The village has no longer exists to contain it. Excuse me? What seemed to be somewhat contained madness now going to a full wide village extermination, a natural disaster. Not something I would have expected. I like that the various characters throughout some episodes have latched on to an explanation as to what's going on. Now, you've been possessed. If I get rid of you, then everything will go back to normal. I mean, it won't. But in their current states, you can understand why people go to those kind of lengths and resorts, thinking we've got a way out. What the hell? Much like all the side bits which I don't understand. The clinic dude having one too many sleeping pill. Stories before, we've got Wadika all dirty and bloodied and whatnot that he found just by the side of the trees. We had the white van men try to run him over. There was all these little bits which just have no explanation as now. They're just out there. What connects them all? I know that there's stuff going on, but since we're not privy to it, no idea how it all connects. And with the uncle going missing, and yet he wasn't missing because he was killed, but he wasn't killed because he was there. What? Unless you had the uncle go out and take care of the the doctor dude. There's some sort of report after Katie went to him. Do we have... I'm saying this based on no reasoning whatsoever, apart from maybe the fact we've got several different arcs and storylines. But do we have so many storylines all running in tandem, and they split off, and we can rejoin a story that we haven't seen the beginning of, and yet it's carrying out while forgetting our original timeline of it? Because that's what it seems like part of the way. Things seem disjointed, where it's like, hang on, where did this come from? It's like we've gotten 7 different stories, and they've all been cut up and just chucked at the board. What the hell happened to Rika? And the woman who caught on fire? What about the throat clawing epidemic? All of these bits are like, maybe we'll get them later. I know there's quite a few episodes left and quite a few seasons left. But now just throwing in volcanic gas. Are you saying that at the end of every story, no matter what happens and transpires, there's going to be a town-wide disaster as well? Or is it because it didn't follow the curse, there was more than 2? That's not how it goes around here. Really not sure. All I really know is that while I do enjoy quite long baths, maybe not overnight long, there is many a question of what we saw. There was no... Hang on, when he went back to the house and there wasn't a bike there, was it just because the uncle took it? Or is it corroborating with his story where he chucked it in the swamp? Which parts are true? And with characters not being a reliable narrator, considering Koichi has his moments of... well, things aren't quite clear. His clarity itself has been diminished quite substantially. There could be truths that are obfuscated from us. Falsehoods drip-fed through conversations or visuals that aren't actually there. Trying to confuse its characters and me. There have definitely been shows before where I'm like, what the hell is going on? But at least there's some sense of, we know where we stand, at least. There's some ground, so okay, at least that holds true, at least that has some weight to it. Whereas it seems like anything in Higurashi can be and might be true at the same time. I think it really made it so much more confusing when time reverted and we restarted the few days. It does feel like you're just reloading a quick save. It's like, fuck. Pulls that up. Load. Is there going to be a time where it's too far gone to be able to go back? Quite likely. I don't think there's going to be a happy way out for many at all. I feel like we are going to be slowly introduced to 1 or 2 crucial bits of information where bits that have popped up in the previous episodes are finally going to make sense to me. Maybe bits that have been so obvious and put out there will suddenly click into place. But until then, you're probably giggling to yourself with my confusion. I understand. But if you enjoyed this episode, please let me know. Find a danger at all, consider leaving a like or a comment down below. if you want to make sure not to miss future ones. Maybe where it explains it, maybe where it gets worse. Consider subscribing so you don't miss out. But for now, give yourselves a bit of rest, because I want to see you for the next one. Barring some kind of gas leak, I will still be here next week for more Troubles in the Town of Curses. And if you would like to help support the channel no matter what kind of dangers may lurk my way, consider joining onto my Patreon. Because thanks to Noku, Sal, Croyville, Ruben Falamawa, Guado, Kite, Raywin, Light Wizard 91, Shiwan, Tori Jane and everyone else, I can stay away from any tall bridges and just stay inside watching more.